welcome back everyone to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Hope you're all having a fantastic day, and welcome back to sunny, tropical St. Maarten. Today we have two flights scheduled for you. First one is going to be from here in St. Maarten on to San Juan in Puerto Rico, and our second flight will be from San Juan over to Puerto Plata in the Dominican Republic. We're going to be flying both of these flights on Silver Airways, a company based out of Hollywood, Florida, near Fort Lauderdale. And to top it all off, we're going to be flying on a brand new aircraft on the channel. This is the ATR 42600 turboprop. Flight time today for both these trips will be roughly around 1 hour. This first flight is going to be 53 minutes from St. Maarten over to San Juan, and then we'll get the official time for the San Juan to Puerto Plata flight when we get over to San Juan. Now, quick disclaimer, this is only the second time I have flown this aircraft in the sim. I did a quick round trip just to get sort of familiar with the aircraft, figure out where all the buttons are and how the plane runs. So to all the passengers flying on this flight, please pay no attention to the pilots that are currently walking onto your plane reading ATR for Dummies manuals. I mean, even my plane's freaking out right now. Look at this. My plane doesn't want the new pilots to fly either. This plane just doesn't want to leave. It's like, no, I don't want new pilots. Please. I don't want new pilots. I want professionals. Yeah, this plane really is freaking out. It does not want new pilots to be flying it today. In all seriousness, there are a few bugs with this aircraft. That landing gear glitch you see is one of them. It appears that the landing gear likes to glitch when the hydraulics are turned off, but it is only happening on the ground when the aircraft has no power connected to it. So as soon as we turn on the plane, get the external power connected, and the hydraulics come on, that glitch will stop. So it is a bit of a bug, but it's not going to harm the flight in any way, so I still want to have fun with the ATR and fly the ATR, so we are going to fly the ATR today. And with that, let's jump in the cockpit, head on over to San Juan. Alright, welcome to the cockpit of the ATR 42600. A little bit different than what we've seen before on this channel with the 737. Also, please pay no attention to what sounds like a drill in the plane. That's just the landing gear doing its landing gear things. Let's go ahead and get the plane powered up. We're going to come on up to the overhead panel. We're going to get the battery switch to the on position. Should start powering up the airplane. There we go. We'll go ahead and get external power 1 connected and external power 2 connected. And the plane has powered up officially. Next thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to start coming down on our flows. We're going to go ahead and get the nav light on, logo light on. We'll get our window heats to the on position, and we'll go ahead and get the no device to the on position and arm the emergency exit lights. Everything is looking good there. Perfect. We'll come back down here to the rest of the lower panel. We'll get a little bit more brightness on the aircraft. There we go. That's all looking good. And what we're now going to do is we're going to go ahead and come on down to our FMC, or the McDo on this aircraft. We're going to go ahead and select FMS1. We're going to go to the init page. We're going to go to pause init and select our GPS position. Sensor initialize, there we go. And before we do anything else from there, we're going to actually go over to our tablet here and import the flight plan. There is a SimBrief import capability on this aircraft, so we're going to go ahead and import our official flight plan. There we go, St. Maarten to San Juan. We're going to go ahead and set that flight plan. And then we're going to go into the payload tab, and we're going to go ahead and set our aircraft's weights for this trip. Zero fuel weight is going to be 34,074, so we're going to go ahead and put that in, 74. Our fuel is going to be, I'll take 4,000 for this, just have a little extra on here. By the way, we are not on VATSIM for this trip. We are going to be offline with AI traffic. Since this is only my second flight, I want to still get a little familiarized with this aircraft before I take it onto a network. But there will still be AI traffic running around. I have links in the description for 2 of them. I use FS traffic, but FSLTL is a good free option as well if you're looking for AI traffic and you prefer to fly offline. And there we go. That's all our weights. We're going to go ahead and hit start loading. We're going to go ahead and close, and that is now our fuel added onto the plane, and all of our flight plan information has been added in as well. And the next thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to come on over to our checklists. This aircraft does have checklists, so nice little additional feature that we can use. Go into the final cockpit preparation, and we'll go ahead and make sure everything is good here. Parking brakes are set. altimeters. Let's go ahead and get the altimeter set for St. Martin. Altimeter for St. Martin is 1015, so we'll go ahead and set that in right now. There we go. That is set. So we can go ahead and check the altimeters. Good. Landing elevation checked. FMS, comms, and navs. We are good there except for one thing I'm going to put in. So I'm going to go ahead and come down here into the radio tab. We're going to go into the navs tab. We are currently expected into runway 10 at San Juan, so I'm going to go ahead and put the ILS radio frequency in on standby. ILS radio frequency is going to be 109.7, so we'll go ahead and put that in the standby tab for now. We'll worry about that when we get closer to San Juan. FMS comms nav set, fuel quantity is on board is checked, engine fuel used, we're going to go ahead and reset that now. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to come on down to the perf page. We're going to go ahead and reset fuel used. There we go. That's going to go ahead and zero the fuel used in pounds on there. We're going to go ahead and check that off. Memo panel good, and power management is takeoff. We'll go ahead and cycle it from MCT back to takeoff, and that is all looking good. Cockpit preparation complete. Next thing we're going to do, come into the init page, make sure the weight is correct. It is correct. And then we're going to go into the flight plan init. We're going to go to the route tab. And there is our flight plan already entered in from SimBrief. The only thing I need to change here is our call sign, which is going to be SIL107, Silver Airways Flight 107 over to San Juan. And everything else here is looking good. We can go into the flight plan tab. St. Martin departure, we are expecting... St. Martin winds are currently 340 at 7, so we're actually going to be departing on runway 28 today instead of runway 10. So we're going to go towards Maho Beach. So runway 28. We have no SID out of here, so we're going to go ahead and just execute that. And there we go. That is our departure in there. We're going to come on down a couple pages here to the San Juan approach. We're going to go ahead and select San Juan, and we're expecting ILS runway 10 for our approach today. We're going to be using the Shaka 4 arrival. None of these vias is what we need, so we're going to put none in, and we do not need a transition since we're going to go straight into final, so we're going to go ahead and execute that. And there we go. There's our flight plan all in for the trip, all the way down to runway 10 and our go-arounds, so that is all looking good here. And from there, we're going to go ahead and get boarding started, so let's go ahead and come back up here, and we'll go ahead and request boarding through GSX. Alright, well, all the passengers board, we're going to go down into our perf information, get that all taken care of here. We're going to go back into the main menu in the init page. We're going to go to perf init. Cruise altitude today will be flight level 200, so we'll go ahead and put in FL 200. Put that in for our cruise altitude, and we'll go into the rest of the perf information here. Only thing we'll need to change here is our transition altitude, which for St. Martin is 5,000. So we'll go ahead and put that in. We'll then go into the next page. That's all looking good. Approach. For the approach page, since we are less than an hour out, I'm going to go ahead and start putting some stuff in here. Transition altitude is 18,000, that is correct, and the QNH is 1014 for our approach into San Juan today. We will be getting a flaps full landing. Winds are 350 at 08 currently in San Juan, so I've gone ahead and put that in. And that is it for our perf data. We are looking good here. So that's our McDo all done here. We'll go back to the flight plan page for our departure. Come back up here. Beautiful sunrise over the mountain peak here in St. Martin. We'll come on over to our tablet here. We'll go ahead and set our takeoff trim. That should be good now here. Yep, takeoff trim is set. And we'll go ahead and start doing our before propeller rotation checklist. CDLs on. FMS and takeoff data is confirmed. Trim set. Doors will be closed here shortly. We still have some boarding to do at this point. I think we've got the passengers on, but we just need the baggage to finish loading, and then we can move on from there. Okay, well, while we wait for bags to finish, we're going to go ahead and put the plane into hotel mode. Oh, never mind, boarding completed. We'll still put the plane into hotel mode, though. We'll go ahead and come on up here, get the right fuel pump on. Actually, first we'll get the engine start switch to start A and B. We're going to put the prop brake on. We'll go ahead and start the right fuel pump, and we'll go ahead and start engine number 2. And that's going to spool up engine number 2, but it's not going to actually spin the propeller. As soon as we get to 10%, we can go ahead and place this into feather. And that's going to start up engine number 2 for us, but it's not going to spin the propeller. As you'll notice here on the right-hand side, the engine is firing up, but the propeller is not spinning. That basically acts as an APU, so we can start working on the temperatures in the aircraft for the passengers. That being said, boarding has completed, so we can do a couple things here. We're going to come back down to our tablet. We'll go to the aircraft. We'll go ahead and close the cargo door, close the main door, and we can go ahead and continue our checklist at this point. Doors are closed. Seatbelt sign is going to come on. And we'll also get the beacon light to the on position as well, and let everyone know around us that we're going to start moving. Seatbelts check, beacon check. Before propeller rotation start is complete, we'll go ahead and come into the normal procedures. We'll go to before taxi, but at this point we can go ahead and start the rest of our engines. So we'll come back up to the overhead. We'll go ahead and bring this to start A. We'll go ahead and turn on the left fuel pump, and we'll go ahead and start engine number 1. Watch over on the right side. We're above 10%. We'll go ahead and introduce this to feather. And we are starting engine number 1. Alright, 2 good engines up. We're going to come down here. We're going to confirm our takeoff data. Let's not forget that. From there, we'll go ahead and go back into the map view. Zoom out a little bit here. There we go. We can go ahead and start our before taxi checklist. FWSs are recalled. Prop brake, we'll go ahead and turn that off now again. Now that we have 2 good engines, we can go ahead and start rotating engine number 2. Prop brake off, cockpit comm hatch closed. CLs 1 and 2, we'll bring those up to auto. There we go. Anti-icing as required, true. We'll get that here in a second. Wait for the engines to get up to full power. Alright, looks like our propellers are rotating where they need to be. We'll come on up to the overhead panel. Get the true to the on position, turn off both external powers, probe heats to the on position, and we can go ahead and come back down here. We'll go ahead and remove the 2 ground powers, remove the wheel chocks. We do have the parking brake set. We'll come back down to here, true on and checked, anti-skid test. Go ahead and perform that. We'll go ahead and set flaps 15 for departure, and we confirm nose wheel steering is on as well. Alright, last thing we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and do a quick departure briefing and get the autopilot set up, and then we'll be ready to taxi to runway 28. Departure out of St. Maarten today, we're going to be leaving ramp 4, coming backtrack down to taxiway Echo. We'll then head all the way down, backtrack to runway 28, turn around, and we will take off from there. And we're going to proceed direct to our first waypoint. There's no SID we have to follow today. So, pretty straightforward departure out of St. Maarten. Nothing else you need to know. We'll go ahead and put our runway heading in, which is going to be 276. We'll put that in first. 276. Let me go the other way. 276. We'll go ahead and set the speed to auto. Altitude out is going to be 20,000. We're just going to put that straight in. We're not going to have any initial climbs we need to worry about because we're going straight onto our route. 20,000, there we go. We'll go ahead and go heading mode, nav mode, and IAS mode for our departure. That is all looking good. That's turned on our flight directors. We'll get our taxi light to the on position. We'll go ahead and review the checklist here. Taxi takeoff lights on, brake check. We'll check that in a second. Autopilot is set, and we'll do a takeoff config test right now. Takeoff config test is okay, perfect. And there we go, there's our taxi checklist complete. Okay, ready to go here. We'll go ahead and release the parking brake. And we'll go ahead and spool up the engines, and we'll make a right turn out of here. we go. We're on our way out. We'll flip around here to head down to taxiway Echo. And head on down to runway 28. Alright, we're pulling up the taxiway. Looks like I actually ended up going to Delta. That's fine. Go ahead and bring the plane to a stop here. I'm going to complete the before takeoff checklist before we enter the runway. So we'll go ahead and hold here really quickly. Before takeoff checklist, takeoff briefing performed. We're good there. Gust lock can come off. Flight controls, we checked those. Transponder. Go ahead and get our transponder set up here. Oh, need to put my squawk code in. Go ahead and put in, I'll just put a random number in here. I usually do like 2435 or something like that. And there we go. Go ahead and put that to the on position. And TCAS is on auto, so we have our transponder on. Go ahead and complete that. Airflow norm, cabin crew advised, engine bleeds as required. External lights, we'll get those all on here in a second. And lateral FT bar and rudder cam are good to go before takeoff checklist is complete. Alright, let's go ahead and get our lights on. We're going to go ahead and get the landing lights on, strobe on, and the wing light on. Bring this back to start and verify everything is correct. Lower panel is all looking good. This panel's looking good. This panel's looking good. We'll go back to the flight plan. Our checklists are complete. Autopilot is looking good, and the overhead panel is looking good as well. We'll close you. Perfect. We'll go ahead and head on out to 28. Go ahead and power up a little bit here. And we are clear on the right side. Clear on the left side as well. We'll backtrack on runway 28. Okay, we've reached 28. We'll go ahead and start backtracking now. Turn around. Go ahead and get the compass on. We'll turn all the way around and head on to San Juan. Make the turn all the way around. 28 verified. We'll go ahead and bring us to a stop here really quickly. Alright, here we go. Throttles up to 50. Start the clock. Let's go. Takeoff power set. Airspeed live. 80 knots. E1, rotate. This plane wants to get off the ground really quickly. Positive rate, gear up. We are out of here. Alright, we're through 2,000. Let's go ahead and get the climb power in. Climb power's in. And let's go flaps up. And we'll go ahead and get the yaw damper on and autopilot on. And there we go. We are climbing out of St. Maarten. Let's go ahead and do the after takeoff checklist. Landing gear is up, flaps are 0, power management is in climb mode. Engine bleeds are on, taxi and takeoff lights are, leave those on for a little bit longer, and the altimeter's set and checked. We're actually about to hit 5,000 here, so we'll go ahead and get standard baro in. right now. Standard baro is in. Perfect. We'll get our lights off here shortly. Otherwise, after takeoff checklist is good to go. Okay, through 10,000, we'll go ahead and let the crew know we are through 10,000. Get all our lights off. And there we go. We can go ahead and complete the after takeoff checklist. And our next checklist is going to be the descent checklist. So we're going to be a little bit before we get to that, as we are still climbing on up to flight level 200. Okay, we made it to 20,000 feet. We're going to go ahead and turn the seatbelt sign off. Passengers can move about the cabin now. And we're going to go ahead and set our power management to cruise. And there we go. We have reached cruising altitude. Progress tab says that we are only 70 miles from top of descent and about 19 minutes from there. So we'll see you very shortly for our first descent into San Juan. Okay, top of descent's going to be coming up here shortly, so we're going to go ahead and do a couple things. We're going to do our arrival briefing, and we'll also just verify that our approach perf data is correct in preparation for our descent into San Juan. For the arrival briefing, pretty simple. We're going to be coming through the Shaka waypoint first on the Shaka 4 arrival, and the only thing we need to know is we need to be at or above 6,000. We'll then follow this track all the way in through this waypoint, straight in. My drawing skills suck, pay no attention to that. Make a right turn here, and that'll get us in position for the ILS to take us into the airport. From Tenor, we'll go ahead and take the ILS runway 10, runway 10 in. We'll take it straight in, expecting glide slope capture. We'll descend down to take glide capture about 1500, so we'll descend down to roughly there for the glide capture, and we'll take it all the way in from there. Minimums will be 260, and our go-around altitude will be up to 3000, and we'll turn left, basically out over the airport, left 300 and out 004, up to the hold position if necessary, if we have to do a go-around. If we do not have to do a go-around, then we will land on runway 10. I'm hoping for an exit on Hotel 5 and take it straight in November into Apron 2. We're going to park at Delta 1, which is right over here. If we take Hotel 4, I'm probably just going to make a right turn here on Hotel, and then we'll make the left turn in to November and into Apron 2 again. And the last simple portion is from November. We'll come in on Apron 2, and we'll be parking at Delta 1 today is our parking spot that we're going to be heading into today. And it looks like top of descent is about 10 miles out, so we'll go ahead and set our altitude. We'll bring our altitude down to 1500. There we go, 1500 is in, so we've got our top of descent altitude ready to go. We'll go ahead and get the seatbelt sign back on for our descent. And then our perf page, the altimeter is going to be now 2997s. We'll go ahead and put that in. For our Q&H, or our pressure. We switched the pressure to now read inches of mercury rather than hectopascals. The only difference is they're pretty much the exact same. The only difference is that inches of mercury is used in the United States. Hectopascals is the unit used in other countries around the world. So That's the only reason I switched it over. So instead of it saying 1014 hectopascals, it's saying 29907 inches of mercury, since we are coming into a US territory, and San Juan uses inches of mercury for their altimeter. Alright, looks like we're ready to descend. We'll go ahead and press the VNAV button, and it will start descending here shortly as soon as it catches our top of descent, and we'll head on down into San Juan. There we go. We are on our way down. We'll go ahead and bring the power up a little bit here, and then we will take manual control of the throttles. Since this is similar to a CRJ, it does not have auto speed control, so you'll have to control the throttles manually. But we are on our way down into San Juan. While we wait for the speed to get up a little bit here, we're actually going to go ahead and start our descent checklist. FWSs are going to be recycled. Go ahead and check that. Landing elevation is checked. We've gone ahead and put all our perf data in. We do need to put our decision height in. We'll do that here in a second. Gone ahead and brought the power back a little bit to match our speed. Decision height is going to be 260, so we're going to come down here. I'll put that in 260. 260, there we go. We're also through 18,000, so we're going to go ahead and get our altimeter in, which is 29907. There we go. That's our altimeter set and checked, and we'll continue the descent into San Juan. Also finished the descent checklist here. Decision height set and checked. Arrival briefing is performed. Descent checklist is complete. Okay, through 10,000. We'll go ahead and let the crew know that we have gone through 10,000. Get all our lights back on here. There we go. Lights are good. Also went ahead and put our ILS capture radio frequency in, so we are good there. We'll go ahead and come on over to our approach checklist. Seatbelt sign is on, landing lights are on, altimeter's checked, cabin altitude is checked, checklist complete. Go to the before landing checklist. Blech. Cabin crew has been advised. We'll get the gear here in a minute. We can go ahead and start putting some flaps out now. Let's go ahead and go flaps 15. And switch our power management to takeoff in preparation as well. We're looking good there. And it looks like everything else is looking good for our approach. Alright, we're going to start making the turn here shortly. Let's go another set of flaps. We'll go ahead and watch our speed. We're going to keep it at 140. Let's go ahead and come on over to our performance tab. We're going to use flaps 35, reverse thrust. We are going to use it. Conditions for the runway are dry, and we've got plenty of runway feet. We need roughly 2,400, and we got plenty of runway to get into San Juan, so we'll be good there. There's our turn towards the airport. Once we line up on this next turn, I'm going to go ahead and put us into heading mode so we can capture the localizer. So I'm just going to sort of vector us in at this point. Put us into heading mode. And I'm going to go ahead and put us into heading mode now. And with that, we're going to go vertical speed, keep descending. And I'm going to go ahead and switch us over to COM 1. And our course heading into San Juan is going to be 101. So we're going to go ahead and put that in now. There's 101. We're going to kind of turn a little bit this way to intercept the localizer. We'll go ahead and also arm approach mode. Descend a slight bit faster here. Want us to get below the diamond. We're starting to get below the diamond. We can go ahead and shallow back out again. Logs captured. And glide slopes captured as well. Perfect. All that's captured. We can go ahead and put our altitude into the go-around altitude, which is 3,000. We'll go ahead and put our heading as well into 300 for the turn out if necessary. And there we go. Let's go gear down. And we'll go with our next set of flaps. That's flaps 30. Let's go ahead and do our before landing checklist. Landing gear is on its way down. There's one green. Gear down, 3 green, flaps checked, power management's in takeoff. True is checked. Correction, TLU is checked. Icing as required, external lights are on. Before landing checklist is complete. Perfect. We are ready to land. Go ahead and bring the power back up a little bit. Very bumpy on the approach into San Juan today. Also, I cannot see anything. Don't know if this works. It does. Perfect. Still can't see. I can see the runway, so at least I know we're heading in the right direction. I believe this is probably San Juan off to our left-hand side. Beautiful views on the approach. There's the glide slope kicking in. We're on our way down. Beautiful views. Okay, focus on the runway. That ATR for Dummies manual specifically said, do not look at the scenery. Don't look at the pretty scenery. Look at the runway. Do your job. We have a nice, lovely crosswind currently on us right now. 13 knot crosswind. Just going to work on the throttles for now. It's definitely windy today into San Juan. Right on the edge of the speed tape here, so I don't want to underspeed us.
500.
500 checked. I'm going to take control of my aircraft. Continue our down. We're at 4 whites, so we're a little high. Still pretty high. This wind is not being nice today.
Decision height.
Continue.
200.
Still high. Thankfully, we're in an ATR, so I don't need to worry about that. We're also really fast, but fine as well.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Whoa! We're down. We're down. We're fine. Everything is fine. You all saw nothing. Reversers out and back in again. So this thing's like the E-Jets. It likes to stop on a dime. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome down to San Juan. We'll vacate here. Taxi on into the gates. Alright, clear the runway. We'll go ahead and get our lights off. See, I told you I'd get you all down here. Alright, we'll go and go to the next checklist here. After landing checklist. Radar, standby, flight controls locked, flaps. Bring those all back up. Trim. We will reset that later. Landing lights are off, de-icing probe heats, and we'll take the True 2 off as well. There we go. Take this back up as well. Go. We'll go and make the left turn here. And we'll taxi this way. I'm going to go ahead and put the gust lock back off again. And we're going to bring down engine number 1 to feather. And we'll continue taxiing this way into the Delta gates. Delta gate should be off here to our left. back up, turn the flight directors off. Go ahead and park it over here. Here we come. Perfect. We'll go ahead and set the parking brake. Alright, parking checklist. Parking brake is set. Taxi takeoff lights are off. We'll put engine 2 to feather. I'm going to go ahead and connect the ground powers. And get the wheel chocks connected. We'll go ahead and connect to the ground powers. Beacon light coming off. There we go. Transponder, we'll go ahead and put that to standby. There we go. And we'll go ahead and take the seatbelts off. Go ahead and shut down the probes. We'll go ahead and shut down the engines. And we have made it to San Juan. And there we go. Passengers are on their way off the plane, heading onto the bus. We've made it to San Juan. Go ahead and get the plane ready for turnaround, and we'll continue on to Puerto Plata. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that flight from St. Martin to San Juan on the ATR. I do want to let you know that after arriving in San Juan, I decided to split this video up into 2 parts. So this will be the end of part 1. Part 2 will be coming out in a couple of days, and it will be the flight from San Juan over to Puerto Plata, where we are currently parked at now. If you did enjoy part 1, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content in the future. Also, don't forget to hit that notification bell so you are notified as soon as that next part comes out. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all for part 2.